When I was in high school, I was training for basketball season, and I was out jogging down the road early one morning when all of a sudden, from a house across the street, a big dog came bursting out the front door and started running directly at me. Well, as you can imagine, my fight or flight reflex kicked in, and I chose to run. And I turned and I fled in the opposite direction. And after about 100 yards of hard running, the dog decided to, the dog slowed down and it decided that it was bored chasing me, and it turned around and it went home. And as I slowed down and my breathing started to normalize and the terror of that experience began to slowly melt away, I just remember feeling incredibly relieved as the dog loped back off into the darkness and headed home. I was recently reading in the book of Jonah, and it just struck me fresh that Jonah starts off as a book about a man who flees. Right? Listen to Jonah chapter 1, verses 2 and 3. Arise, God is speaking. He says, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness has come up before me. And just think for a second about how shocking this next phrase would be for a Jewish reader. But Jonah rose up to flee. God gives a command, arise, go to Nineveh. Jonah rises up. He doesn't go to Nineveh, but Jonah turns and he flees in the opposite direction. And not only does he choose to flee in the opposite direction, look at what he tries to run from. He flees from the presence of the Lord. And we think, man, a prophet of God. I mean, this is a servant of Yahweh. God gives him a command, and Jonah gets up and he does the complete opposite and runs in the other direction. What a shocking start to this story. But I also think that before we judge Jonah too harshly, we need to evaluate our own lives. Because as new covenant believers, we have the indwelling presence of the Holy Spirit. 1 Corinthians chapter 6:19 tells us that we are bought with a price. Right? Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. But we often flee from God to sinful pleasures that are nothing but cheap, temporary replacements for the perfect satisfaction and joy that is found in the person of Jesus Christ. So can I encourage you today? Don't run from God. Draw close to him, and as you do, God will draw near to you. That's what James chapter 4 and verse 8 are all about. God's presence is meant to be pursued and enjoyed. And I'm reminded of the words of the psalmist. He says, in thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. Brothers, don't be like Jonah and get up and flee. Instead, draw near to God. Pursue him and enjoy the pleasures that are found in his presence. Thank you so much for watching today. God bless, and we'll see you next time.